Hi there. This is Cherry Kaswat from Computer Engineering Department of Technological Institute of the Philippines, Manila. I'll be presenting the study that we have conducted entitled, this is study entitled E-Salpakan or Electronic Salpakan, Development of a Rule-Based Arbiter for Games of the Generals Pieces Ranking Detection using RFID. These are my co-authors, Dr. Luisito L. Lacatan, Engineer Julio C. Castro, Engineer Yolanda D. Austria, and Engineer Dean Cameron P. Evangelista. We are all fond of board games. So board games have been developed for thousands of years. Electronics automates board games by creating a network of sensors that detect the location of the elements on the board. Such efforts have been produced in numerous centers and businesses. Usually, chess or checkers board were involved. So throughout the Philippines, board games were created and played by the individuals in the 19th century right at the same time as the game of the generals. The usage of electronic boards or cards has increased steadily for entertainment purposes, education, and in particular specific fields such as medicine, psychology, and social science. Electronic boards, with the advent of digital technologies and digital wireless devices, are beginning to be used. They're getting cheaper and more available. There are several types of board games which is available in the market. Nowadays, the game of the generals, which is popularly known in the Philippines as salpakan, which is a Filipino word literally means battle fight. This is a strategic war games which aim to capture the flag of the opponent or conquer its base. The first who will get the flag is the winner. This game is basically designed for two players and an arbiter who decides what piece wins on the game. Basically, the game of the generals requires the presence of an arbiter to decide who will win in every round of the game. Generally, the problem involves the presence of an arbiter, which is traditionally a third person invited by two players to watch their play and score their moves in every round of the game. The fact that traditional arbiter could be biased in making decisions. The proponents identified the problem and decided how to design and implement an electronic arbiter utilizing the RFID technology in the real game. And we come up with this objective to design an electronic arbiter utilizing the RFID technology in the real game, specifically to develop an automated game of the generals pieces rank detection. So this is our system architecture. The overall system architecture of this automated game of the generals board game is basically consists of and comprises of the following: the Arduino, the RFID reader and tags, LCD display, and the 6-volt battery. So the GG pieces made of card tags with different tanks will serve as the input. The Arduino receives the gathered the data from the RFID reader. The microcontroller converts the signals to serial data through its built-in converter. So once the data converted and then processed in the microcontroller and send the data to the LCD display to show the status of the data gathered and give information to the next player that is his turn to tap his piece. And next is the schematic diagram. So this is the schematic diagram of our automated game of the generals. And then the hardware implementation procedures. So the tags were used as the game of the general pieces. So we have 21 tags so per player. So all in all we have 42 tags. The RDM63 RFID reader will be placed on the front of the side of the game of the general box where the players can tap their pieces, which is made of RFID card tags. The LCD display was installed on the top of the Digibox devices, and then the LCD utilized the pins 12, 11, 6, 5, 4, 3 and connected to RS, enabled D4, D5, and D6 of the Arduino module, and so on. And the next is the development of the rule-based algorithm. So this rule-based algorithm is a knowledge of the outside world and determines how to respond to input signals. For this reason, the system takes decision on the basis of the number of rules. In addition, the system continuously evaluates the available input, which is information from the RFID, then takes decision on the output of the device in compliance with the rules. The rule base made up a variety of simple multiple if and then statements. So for this figure, so this is the conceptual design of a rule-based system. So the first player takes the flag of the opponent's side, and the red player caught the flag of the blue player and won the game. So next is the rule-based arbiter flow chart. So this is the rule-based arbiter flow chart. This shows how a rule-based arbiter decides. So if the player is lost, draw, and win in every piece, so during the match. So the rule-based arbiter will use the rule set in the game of the generals as shown. And then next is we have the system flow chart. So once that you turn on the system, so and you tap the tags, it's either red or blue tag, so it will decide if the tag is detected, it will proceed to compare and determine the higher rank using the rule base, and it will display which has the higher rank in the LCD display. Then next is this is the results of our experiment that we have conducted. So the table shows the result of rule-based arbiter applied in the game of the generals to decide. So if the piece in the match is lost, win and draw. The player whose piece in the match that has the higher ranking will declared by the rule-based arbiter as winner, and its piece will be retained. The opponent whose piece that has lower ranking will be declared as lost and will result to its piece to be eliminated. So if both players have the same rank, the arbiter declared or the electronic arbiter declared that both players will be declared as draw and both piece of the players will be eliminated. And then we have also the game of the generals pieces ranking in red for red pieces and for the blue pieces. So if in this figure, it shows that both in the experiment, both of the pieces has 100% accuracy in terms of detection. So for our conclusion, the proponents concluded that upon doing the functional testing to test if the RFID has served as a piece for each team, obtained 100% accuracy in detecting the 21 pieces for each team. The proponents also concluded that the proposed system was designed to eliminate the existence of a human arbiter by using the rule-based system to decide who win, lost, and draw. The design system provides improved performance on deciding whose piece wins in face-off of both teams and to display the status of every piece tapped on the device and also display whose piece win in every game. The system design consisted predominantly of four parts such as detection of the piece through RFID tag, intelligent device equipped with RFID reader, and Arduino microcontroller that compares the ranks and decides whose piece wins. And next is display platform interface with LCD display that shows transparency in showing the status of both teams in this section. RFID tag and reader data acquisition, using RFID and communication technologies to detect the pieces and transmit the data to the microcontroller for the microcontroller to process the data gathered. For future works, the proponents recommend to simplify the circuits of the device and make the device more compact. The proponents also suggest to include features such as low power consumption game of the general's ranking detection. And these are our references. And that's all. Thank you for listening.